fifth dimensional emotional mastery, which again is the mastery of unconditional love as the dominant emotion. To get the subconscious clear, to get the subconscious resonating with unconditional love so that you can be totally unified and your shadow can be totally unified. So part of this process is about really facing your shadow in its totality and the shadow in your family. That means unconditional love for all of these lower emotions, which do vibrate at a lower rate. That means love for the anger, love for the hatred, love for the guilt, love for the sadness, love for the doubt, love for the fear. Today's message is that emotions are never wrong. And this is a big problem in society in general. Your emotions are indicators of the truth. There's no such thing as a wrong emotion. People often speak of low vibrational emotions like they're bad or they're worse, but those are just indicators of the reality of that person. So there's nothing wrong with those emotions. The problem, what's wrong, is emotional stagnancy, to not become stagnant emotionally. I grew up especially in a place where emotions really weren't discussed, they were off the table, and so that led to a lot of emotional buildup and emotional stagnancy. And all those emotions are there for a reason. One of the big emotions that I've been dealing with and that I know the collective is dealing with is anger. What the symbiotic medicine that I'm working with has been teaching me is that this is just fuel, and a lot of this anger is just built up from the past. So it's important to go back through the timeline with the Merkaba vehicle and to hold that emotional body to achieve emotional mastery is absolutely vital. Yeah, so definitely, if you're interested in transmuting emotions and gaining emotional mastery, then definitely check out my Gold Merkaba. Absolutely critical for healing your masculine and feminine lineages and getting them back into balance of the ecstasy and the joy and the bliss. That was the other big message that I was getting, is that the warrior is there to cultivate the fifth dimensional warrior, the divine warrior that's able to protect that unconditional love, because that's a precious energy and that can be very tender energy and it needs to be protected. It's like a baby, it's like a newborn baby, but when you expand it to infinite, the level of infinity, and you're able to operate with an infinite amount of unconditional love, then you're at the level of straight up omniscience and goddess. So it's a journey. It's absolutely a journey, and that's where the shamanic power comes in, is to be able to journey through your emotions, journey through the depths of your subconscious is vital, to get the subconscious clear, to get the subconscious resonating with unconditional love, to get the subconscious resonating with, so that you can be totally unified and your shadow can be totally unified. So part of this process is about really facing your shadow in its totality and the shadow in your family, because you're without a doubt a reflection of your parents and their parents, and basically taking the responsibility to clear all that out just for your well-being and getting your whole family within you in a fifth dimensional resonance so that you can thrive. Because on a team, you're only as strong as the weakest member on your team. And so the family is like everyone's innate, inherent team. And at least in your thoughts, in the fifth dimensional plane, in the quantum plane, the psychic plane, so that you're not haunted by family, as I have been haunted by family and toxicity, and that will elevate the vibrations of family and friendship, but first family into beloved families. Fifth dimensional emotional mastery, which again is the mastery of unconditional love as the dominant emotion. That means unconditional love for all of these lower emotions, which do vibrate at a lower rate. That means love for the anger, love for the hatred, love for the guilt, love for the sadness, love for the doubt, love for the fear, okay? Which can seem like a paradox or it can seem impossible, but it's basically just seeing how they can all help you to function to achieve your dream, to achieve the life of your dreams, fulfillment of your dreams, and especially they can all be harnessed through warriorship, especially. So again, the importance of warriorship, because the insight that I got last night in the ceremony that I had was about how the root of all this emotional dysfunction in my personal or my family's timeline is the war and the crisis of masculinity that I feel is a result of the crisis of fatherhood, which I saw was then the crisis of the warrior. So my grandfather, my father's father, that's where the trauma, my father would always put blame on his father for how he was raised. And when I looked into my grandfather's life, he was in World War II, and that left such a deep wound in him. I think that he was incapable of fulfilling the emotional, let's call them emotional needs masculine emotional needs. Men have emotions and men have emotional needs. Yes, and that's critical to understand. And the emotions that men need are masculine emotions. It's not no emotion. Even Stoics, the people that are being taught no emotion, they're actually showing virtuous emotions. It's not just no emotions, they're showing virtue, the emotions of virtue. But when you're just neglected, or like in my case, just being totally neglected emotionally and only being shown emotions of toxic rage, absolute like rage and anger in violent ways, then that's not healthy at all. And so I've had to go back through and face this buildup, and especially face basically my father's shadow, which is extremely difficult. But in the way that I can pass through it is with this Merkaba vehicle. This can blast through all the shadows. Yeah, so definitely, if you're interested in transmuting emotions and gaining emotional mastery, then definitely check out my Gold Merkaba. Absolutely critical for healing your masculine and feminine lineages and getting them back into balance of the ecstasy and the joy and the bliss to cultivate divine masculinity. And check out the book, The Way of the Divine Warrior, to thrive through the crisis. That's where the warrior can thrive. The warrior can use the anger as fuel. The warrior can tap into rage and even tap into wrath and harness those things to protect the love. So the concept of beloved family, which is so powerful. I have definitely felt super distant from that concept of a beloved family, but coming back into that resonance feels so amazing. So I wish you all infinite blessings of belovedness for yourself, and may you make peace with your family and feel the warmth of the 5D beloved family, because in the bigger picture, it's all one human family, but it's all branched out into these trees. So may your genetic tree be blessed with an infinite amount of love. Wishing you infinite emotional mastery, warrior power, and lightning bolts.